Classera. True joy of smart learning.
This is Menna Ramadan, the Director of International School Sector in Classera. Again, this session will be for school admins, the system admins. And this is different, little bit different than school administrators, which it may sometimes include all the principals, managers. This one will be for whatever. Some schools, maybe the same person will be like supervisor or school principal, and at the same time he will take the role of the system admin, of course. But I just needed to clarify that the training will including the system setup tasks. And let's go for the next slide. Today we will be having some attendees having Classera. Classera have 2 products, and some other from schools having ClassLite. Classera and ClassLite are 2 products for our LMS. The differences mainly are much more in teaching the learning tools, and some services. So it depends on the contract, of course. But for today training, for this training, as we are just talking about the system main setup, how to manage the users, the courses, the lectures, and the main system setup process, it is the same for Classera and ClassLite, so no big differences here. So that's why this session will include both of them, and no big differences you may notice at your site. But as you guys will be logging using your own accounts that you suppose already received. So of course, those who have Classera, you will log in from me.classera.com. Schools that have ClassLite will log in from classlite.com. So those are the 2 domains for Classera main LMS products. Let's start. Today, we will not cover the whole system admin. I also need to clarify that this session, it's dedicated for the new schools, the completely new schools who didn't yet start building the main school accounts, lectures, courses, and so on. So if we have some attendees that already had passed by or already had made that from your side already. So this session actually will be like much more maybe refreshing, or maybe some added information will be helpful for you, I hope. But again, this session is for the basic setup steps only. There will be later on another sessions for school admins, because the school admin account is huge. It's really huge. Normally it's covered in 6 hours, not 2 or 1.5 hours. It normally takes around 6 hours training to cover all the features or all the tools in your school admin side. Today, we will be having from 90 to 2 hours, 90 minutes to 2 hours maximum training, covering only the basic school setup. And those are the points that we will be covering. Number 1, the main settings like adding the school years, semesters, stages, levels, and some other general settings. Then how to manage your users, how to bulk insert the student and generate the student account, teacher account, and other management or supervisors accounts. The last thing will be courses and lecture management. So those 3 steps is the main setting steps that make your online school up and running for teachers and students and management staff. And the last part will be like for Q&A. Q&A, of course, I prefer that if you write your notes or write your questions on the chat, and by the end of this session, I will try as much as I can to take your questions and answer it back. Okay. I will be copying paste this training channel, as this session will be recorded, completely will be recorded, and it will be uploaded to our training channel. And this is the training channel. I will share with you the link on the chat. So please make sure to subscribe or save this link at your side in any place, so you can reach it back at any time and you can listen to this session later. However, of course, your concentration will be appreciated during this session. Yeah, don't rely that the recording will be available. Um, so this is a YouTube training channel. Actually, you will find many training session there. There will be teacher training sessions recorded, manager supervisors training session. It is the same channel for all user type, including this one for administrators. So you can actually browse this YouTube channel. You can share different content with your staff according to their rules, of course. Okay. Now let's start to go to the practical part. I will be logging using resume. Okay, so here we are. Your school, once you started working on your school, you will find, of course, you will not see those numbers. I can see in my dashboard those numbers because my own account include all international schools in the Middle East. So can see those millions of numbers. Of course, your own account will include only those numbers reflecting your school numbers about how many messages, answers. It's just giving you a high level statistics about how far the platform is in use from different users. You can see how many online users are online right now. So for me, as a director of international school sector, I can see that the international schools that I have a super admin on have 23,000 online. If I need to know them with names, I can go to dashboard online to know who are those that are online right now. Here you can see as a school admin the high level statistics about the number of students, the number of teachers, number of managers. So for us, we have right now 2 million students. And as I mentioned, I have only access to international schools. So we have other national supervisors and so on. From your side, you will be able to see also the absences, the total number of absences during the last week. So this chart will reflect always the last week number of absences for the whole school. If you need more details about absences, you will click these details to find it per level, stage, class, and so on. And here you can track who are the most active or most engaged students and teachers in your school. Of course, I'm just here giving an overview over the dashboard before going to much more details about the system setup. And because one of the most important rules for you as a system admin, it's not just to have the technical side about creating the accounts, make sure that everyone have an account, check the technical issues if exist for anyone. This is, of course, an important part, but another very important part is that you as a system administrator, you will be like the expertise about the system for everyone, for teachers, for students. You'll be the one who have the high level experience and the motivation part. You're supposed to be the one who motivate the implementation of Classera as a learning teaching tool for students, teachers, and even the management staff. So these charts will allow you to track the engagement level from different users. Okay, I started to receive some questions like how can we link the lectures? How can we manage the teachers' absences? Actually, we didn't start it yet this session. So I'm still in the very beginning introduction. So I prefer, if possible, that please leave your questions to the end because most of your questions I will be already covering during this session. And again, this session is for the very basic steps. And I mentioned those steps already, how to manage the users, add the users to the platform, generate the accounts, how to link the lectures and add the courses. That's it. So other more advanced, there will be other sessions actually for the most. So for VNOT, for example, when you are asking about teachers absences, I believe that you already had done all the pre-steps. Your system is already set it up. You have teachers account, you have students account, you have lectures already set it, and every teacher is linked. You have online classes, and now you are asking about teacher absences. So actually this is not, teacher absences is part of the supervisor account sometimes. However, we don't have this advanced feature for teachers' absences. The main feature is for student absences on Classera. We have a feature to take teacher absences actually in the supervisor account, but not that much advanced. I just need to clarify that this session again is for the main 1, 2, 3 steps of a new system, a new school having Classera, and they are starting from scratch. This session is for that. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Gada. Okay, so I will proceed to return back to my dashboard. So again, let's complete this dashboard that a school admin will be able to track who are the top students engaged, who are the top teachers, because as I mentioned, I need to return back to this important point. As a system administrator, you have two main rules to make sure that the whole system had been built and set it up correctly for all the users. Number two is to track the progress, track the engagement of everyone, make sure that all the users are using the system in a professional way, and guide them and motivate them to use it better and better. So this is one of the most important. And here we are helping you through this dashboard and through this charts showing who are the most active teachers, most active students, so you can announce, like for example, make announcement every week or every month, who are the top users in our school, so that you may can motivate others to compete and to be more active on the platform. Okay, so this is a high level dashboard. Let's go to the important parts now. As a school admin for today, we will be working on three main, as you can see on the left side of the screen, you have a very long list of tools. Can you see those here? This is a long list, as you see. Many things exist, but today we will be covering the main three things only. We will be covering, first thing, settings, these settings. And when we go to settings, we will find the system settings. It's for general settings about, and we will check some important settings inside. Stages, years, and those, and that's it. We will check those three options or three links below settings today. The second thing that we will talk about today from this long list will be users. So you will go up and you will go to users, and then we will see how can you bulk insert and generate the student and parents accounts and teacher accounts and some supervisor or management account. Actually, also we will be focused today on students. Guardians will be created automatically during your import for the students, actually, teachers, supervisors, and management. Okay, like users, account and managing the users. Number three, course management and lectures. Course management and lectures. That's it. So today, let's start with the first thing, setting. When you go to settings, actually, once you go, let's go to the years to see if we have any academic year. As your school will be a completely new school starting this year, so you will find automatically a year called 2020, 2021 will be auto exist. This will be exist. You don't have to add a year for this current year, but later on the next year, you will be needed to add a new year for yourself and so on. So for now, as a new school, you will find already this year exists. You don't have to add it. Then check here from actions. Of course, all the tables, any table in Classera, you will find a title. And by the end of the table, the last column, you will be able to view, to edit anything, to delete it if you need to add the year, like for example with a new name or something. And here you have arrow showing semesters. So now let's go to check if we have semesters. Also semesters will be exist. Only the first semester will be exist. So right now you don't have to do anything here. The year exists, the first semester exists. And I am telling you, even this is not because here I am on an old demo or old school. No, even if you had just received your admin account today or yesterday for your actual school, you will find the year exists and the first semester exists. Later on the second semester, you will add like another semester and you will start to mark it as current semester and start to work on it. Right now, nothing is needed here. So, okay. So now settings, years, we don't need to do anything for years. Let's start to check the stages. Here we are talking about the stages. Actually, the stages, it depends on how your school has been built from Classera team. Some schools, you already have the stages defined here. So sometimes I will let you see this, for example, okay, elementary. Let me check something here. So please, okay, let me check another one. Ellie. Okay, so please see this. Can you see this? I can see here that the school, that could be the case of your school and it could be not. Please be very concentrated with me at this point because this will allow you to upload your data correctly or to make all the steps wrong. So we have to delete everything and repeat it from scratch again later. And that will waste a lot of time. So some of the schools, you may find your school from here, from this icon, this can you see this building icon? Sometimes the schools are already separated in different stages. So you already have like elementary, intermediate, high school, like in different schools, every stage or every section separated. So and some schools, no, some school it's one school and you will classify the stages here. So the first thing you need to do as a school admin is check this icon and check if you already have separate stages here, like elementary, middle school, high school, or primary, intermediate, and secondary, depending on the names that we have received in the school setup file. According to the school setup file, Classera set up the platform for you. So you need to check what are the levels that you have at this school building. Okay, so what if you find that the school have like elementary, for example, and then primary, sorry, elementary, middle, high, for example. In that case, let's say that right now you are standing, you have to select which stage you need to start in. So you need to check, for example, primary, stand on the school that you need to start to work on. Don't start to work immediately on the school what your account is opening at. So many of the schools, once you open your account, actually you are not on the right level. You are not on the right stage at all. Sometimes your account may open on the administrative school. So many of the schools have like a certain level for administrative school. So you have to switch to the right stage. Okay, let's imagine that, okay, I am now standing on elementary. Okay, so I clicked here and I'm now standing on the right school. I'm sure that I'm on the right stage. Here, you will create a stage with the same name. You can still, like, for example, primary. Primary, for you, you can change the name. You can change the name like elementary. It's up to you. Or you can keep it like primary with the same name. Primary. It's up to you how you need to name it. We have a certain, like a category, a name for all the stages. It's one defined for all schools. But how you need this stage to be named for parents, students, teachers, if you have different title, for it, you can change the title here and insert your own, or you can just keep it as it is. Okay. So here I need to name it, for example, primary level, for example. That's the name that I would like to see it. If you have an Arabic name and you need to insert an Arabic name beside the English, so if any user converts the system, because the system allow any user to work on English or Arabic interface. So if you added here an Arabic title, Arabic users will see it in Arabic, English users will see it in English. So it's up to you to name anything only in English or in Arabic and English. So for now, I will leave it as it is, primary English. So I will not add it in Arabic right now. So now, even even if you have here a stage called primary, for example, if you have a stage called primary, you still have to create a stage and call it primary. Again, from inside. This is the outside structure. This is the general structure of your school that you have to follow. But from inside, you have to define the stage. Only one stage. Now you are standing on primary, so you will create only one stage. If you need to name the the intermediate, go here, go to intermediate, and then add inside the intermediate the stage for intermediate. Okay. Secondary, and so on. I hopefully this is clear, because many issues happen with many schools, according to some little confusing on this part. Okay, now you have created a stage called primary. You will go to actions. You still can, of course, delete whatever you need, edit it or whatever. So go here to the arrow to add your levels. So now I will open the levels on a new tab, and I will start to add the levels for the primary. So I will check the master level grade 1. Grade 1, automatically your title will be grade 1, but some schools like the UK national or the Cambridge schools, sometimes you prefer to name it year 1. Sometimes for IB schools and so on, you name it MY. So for example, PYP year 1, whatever. So still the system have a general level title, but you still can retype the title again and again. Add courses of master grade. If you are an international school, don't check this. This is for national schools. It's automatically add the course titles that's like it is the same titles, the same courses for all national, because all national have the same course list. For international schools, don't click this. It will add the courses with Arabic titles according to the national or government schools way. So don't check this unless you are a national school and you need to add the courses according to the national school curriculum. It will only add the titles of the courses, like لغتي إسلامية and something like that. Okay. So here I will add this here with name grade 1. I will keep it like grade 1. Grade 1. Okay, the Arabic title if needed. The order is mandatory. The order is this affects actually a lot on the report cards later. This how the order of the grade when the students needed to be upgraded or promoted from one grade to another. So the order is important. So grade 1, let's say that this is 1, and then submit. So now I added grade 1 to my primary stage that I already added. Okay, let's add another grade here for grade 2. Grade 2, I will keep it like grade 2. This order will be 2. Okay, that's grade 2, and so on. What about sections and classes? Sections and classes, you have two ways to do that. You can go here for each grade and start to go to sections and start to add sections one by one. But this is not recommended, because sections could be created automatically while you import your students to the classes. So if you have, and we will discuss that after a while, when you need to go to users and import the students, sections, according to the Excel sheet that you will import from, sections will be created and students will be assigned to sections automatically without having to do this step one by one. So we can stop here at adding stages then adding the levels for each stage. So now, when you add grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for primary, what will you do next? You need to go here, check your schools, go to intermediate, for example, and stand on intermediate and do the same steps again for intermediate school. When you go to intermediate, you will go back again to settings and start to add a stage called intermediate, and then add the levels for like grade 6, 7, and so on. Okay, hopefully that's clear. Once you add those, here, as I mentioned, you can skip adding sections. No need to add sections, but still you can import courses. As I mentioned, when you are adding the levels, there is a checkbox if you need to add the courses titled or named by the national curriculum. But I believe that most of the admins that we have today are from international schools, and maybe the names of the courses are completely different. So in that case, don't check the checkbox of adding courses while you are adding the levels. Go to import courses for grade 1. Here, as you can see, um, here you can have some course category if you need to check them. Anyway, you can click here to download the Excel file. Here we have an Excel file that you can bulk insert the courses. Bulk insert the courses, because you can still add the courses one by one. You can later, we will go to course management, and I will let you see how courses could be added one by one, adding like for example English grade 1, and then you add English grade 2, and then you add English grade 3, and then and so on. Math grade 1, math grade 2, one by one, each one in a separate step. This is possible from course management here. But if you can still, from the levels, while you are at the levels page, you can go to import courses, and you can go there again, and you can download this Excel sheet. Let's see what this Excel sheet include. This Excel sheet will include the course category ID, then the course title, course second language title, course template if exists. We will leave this course template right now. Order, credit hour if needed, credit value. Of course, the only two mandatory columns here are the course category, the course title. Those are the only mandatory, okay, fields or columns to import. So I will imagine that, okay, right now, of course, the course category is little bit important because you have to link each course with its category. So if you need to start to add math, so for example, here, what is the code for math? You need to know that. So the code for math is 128. So I will open my Excel file here. Why I cannot find the Excel file that I had just imported. Anyway, let me import it again. Yeah, here we are. So I will open this Excel. And here, of course, you will find this example. Just delete the example that we have here. Enable editing. I will delete this, and I will start to add 128, course title, math, mathematics, okay, or math, it's up to you. If I need to add it in Arabic, I will add it. Maybe you need to retype it in French and any other language, it's up to you. This is the second language if exists other than English. So the other language, I will add it in Arabic, for example, الرياضيات على سبيل المثال. Okay. Okay, so here, this is the course title. I need to add also like English and Islamic and science and art and so on. And if you and we will need to check here, for example, science 131. So here is science 131 and so on. So once I add those here, of course, the course category will not be changed from grade to grade. So if you just know the course category for grade one, it will remain the same, and you will submit almost the same courses for grade one, two, three. You will just import it, because when you go to high level school, for example, you will find that instead of mathematics, you will be having physics, chemistry, sorry, what I'm talking about, mathematics, it will be like algebra, calculus, geometry. Science will be classified in physics, and so on. So but for all primary grades, you will find that the name of the subjects or the core titles are the same. So let's say that I need to save this right now. I will save this Excel file, and I will go here again to grade one, and I will go here again to the, sorry, I could do that from here without having to go there. I will open here again. So as I mentioned, the most important columns is the course title and the category. Here, I will choose the file that I had already saved. So I will go to downloads, and I will choose this one, open, submit. Mm, there is something wrong at the category ID. Maybe the English one I had added was incorrect. Let me check that. Okay. He just included, sorry, it's just, it had imported mathematics and science. English, we didn't insert as a category. So that's why it didn't import it. English, Islamic, on art, and give me an error. No worries. But now we had imported mathematics and science for grade one. If we need to check the others, you can check them and reinsert them as well. Okay, let's check the courses right now. If you went now to courses, you will find that you have two courses for grade one. Of course, if you already imported all the courses, added all the courses to the Excel sheet, you will find them. So what if we need to import the same courses for grade two? You will do like that. Again, you will go to stages, settings, stages, and I will go to the levels again, and I will go to grade two, and I will import, because the courses are almost the same. So I will go to grade two to import courses, and actually here I will go to import my Excel file, the same Excel file again, because unless you have some changes for some grades than other grades. So I will take this again, and I will submit this again. Again, it will give me an error for those, no worries. Now I will go back to my courses. So I can go here to my courses to check the courses. I will find that, okay, now we have courses for grade one, math and science, and grade two, math and science. And if all courses exist in the Excel sheet, you will have all the courses have been added to the system for all grades. Okay, so now we have courses, we have stages and levels before the courses. Let's see how if you need to add some courses manually one by one, not through the import. Still, I can go here to add a course from the course management page. Here I will choose a category like math. Sorry, let's have one English, for example. And the title will be English. Of course, here again, title, it's your own title. It could be English language, it could be English art, it could be whatever. So you are just naming it. If you have a second language or Arabic title, you can add it here. For grade one, the course template, if it exists, we will talk later about course templates, so we will not talk about it right now. The order of this course will be like one. We will talk about order later as well. Order affect the order of this course in the report cards and where it appeared in the report card list. For example, English, math, Arabic, you have this order in the report card. So English should be the first, Arabic should be the second in the report card, and so on. So that's what order means here. Of course, you can still add all of that on the Excel, and this I highly recommend that. As much more you will fill the Excel sheet, as much more you will make the data ready, and you don't have to edit it later. So here you can insert the order 1, 2, 3, and the same order you prefer, how you prefer the courses to be presented in the report cards. If you have a credit hour for some courses, of course this exists for the high level courses, you can still add it. Okay, no need for others, but actually as much more you add here some information, that will make it much more easier later. But of course you can still update the courses later if needed. Anyway, no, 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 no. You will not be able to update actually. You will have to edit it one by one. Sorry for that. You will need to edit them later. So, okay. Here we are. Let me add this course. So now I had added English for grade 1 manually by my hand from here. So you can choose either add the course list using import sheet, or you can add them one by one. It's up to you. Okay, what is next? Now, as we had added the courses and stages and levels, we have to start link the courses with teachers. So we need to go to lectures. But how can we go to lectures to link teachers with courses while we don't have teachers yet? So before going to the lectures to link teachers with their courses, we have to go to users. Users, we need to import students, teachers, and make sure that everyone in the school have an account, and then we will go back to courses to link the teachers with their courses that we had already added. So let's start with adding students and teachers. Start with students. For your question about your question, Mujitaba, no, the code will not be automatically generated when you import the school courses. The code, it is something should be taken from Classera. And as I showed you, the code, you can know the code for any course from the drop-down list above the import option. You have a drop-down, select the course category, and then once you select the course category, you will able to see what is the code. And this is the code that you have to insert. Sorry, you have to insert in the Excel sheet. How can we manage a teacher? Oh, okay, this is an older question. So, okay, you are welcome. So now, before, as I mentioned, before start to link teachers with lectures, we need to add students and teachers. How could you add students? Again, everything in Classera, allowing you to add them one by one or to add them bulk insertion using import. So actually your account will look a little different than that. You will not find those many buttons. You will find directly add student or Excel import. Those will be the main two buttons at the very first buttons here instead of those two that I see from my side. So some extra functions is on my account that actually is not at your account. At your account, it's easy. You will find that add a student mean you need to add them one by one. And of course, I'm sure that no school at the startup now at the startup stages will add students one by one. Of course, the most proper way is to go to Excel import here. So Excel import, it's nearly like how we imported courses, but here we need to download the form from Classera and import it again from here. So download this Excel sheet to know what is the format of uploading the students' data to Classera. After downloading it, open this. So this is how the Excel sheet of students import looks like. A very important note, a very important note. Not all the columns are mandatory here, but if you don't have to fill all the columns, you still cannot delete columns. You have to leave the unmandatory columns blank, but leave the columns as they are. For example, if you, for example, here, you don't have a mobile number for students. You only have a mobile number for father, and you don't have mobile number for students. Can you delete this column? Go and delete? No. This will consider a disaster when you upload the data. If you deleted a column, that means the parent ID will be inserted instead of the mobile, because the parent ID will become the column I, and the system will identify the parent ID as a mobile number, and this is a disaster. So any Excel format that you will download to import data, if you didn't fill all the columns, no problem. Keep the mandatory columns exist and keep other columns empty, but just keep the format as it is. All columns should remain exist in your import file. So now I will go here. Of course, the first column is the student ID. The student ID number should exist. So I will let you know what are the mandatory fields here. The mandatory field is the student ID. You should have student ID number. You should have student name. So I will consider this is Ahmad. Okay, sorry. So here I will add the Arabic name if exists. If not exists, just copy the English name again. But if you need the Arabic names to exist, you will insert here the English name and here the Arabic name. The level and section. About the level, here you need to insert the same level name on Classera. The same. If you have one letter added or one space added different than the levels on Classera, data will not be imported correctly. So this Excel sheet is very sensitive and should be filled up very carefully. I will go here actually for my stages. Again, I will go back to my stages on my school, and I will go here to levels. We don't need the stage title, we only need the levels. So I will check here, like, can you see this? Grade 1, copy. I will go to my Excel sheet, paste. So it's grade 1 for Ahmad. Section A, for example. We didn't create the sections on Classera. So as I mentioned, sections will be created and students will be assigned to the sections automatically. Level name, what if I wrote it like that? Grade 1 without a space. But on Classera, grade 1 is with a space. Actually, the second question, Omar, here, I will add any fake IDs right now. Okay. Sarah will be on grade 2, class A. And this Ahmad will be on class A as well. Omar, sorry. But here, Omar, I added grade without a space. And here, Ahmad is grade with a space. Grade 2 is with a space and no after space or before space, exactly as the name of grade 2 here. And so now, if I don't have a date, so this is mandatory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are mandatory. Except section, if you didn't added a section, actually students still will be added to your platform. They will be added, but they will be added without sections. So you will need manually to assign the students to the sections later. But of course, if you already know the sections, please fill the sections, so that will make the students to be assigned to the sections correctly. What if you don't have a date of birth? No problem. Email, no problem. Mobile, no problem. Just if you don't have them yet, don't add them, but leave the columns with the same order as it is. Now let's go to the parent information. That depends. if you need right now during the import, the system auto-generate parent account and link each parent with the students. Of course, this will be a great step instead of having to do it later manually. So as much as you can, fill in the parent information as well as the student, because this will save a huge time later to create accounts for parents. So here I will add an account for this parent ID. The parent name will be Kaber. And here, Omar, let's say this is Omar Hassan. And here, so the parent name will be Hassan. And here, Sarah. Okay, any names right now? Here I will add Ahmad as her father. If you have mobile numbers for the father, add it. If you don't have, it's not. So if you need to create a parent account connected with the student account, those are mandatory. Parent ID, parent name. Other information, optional, but just leave the columns as it is. Don't delete any columns from here. Mother mobile if you need, mother account. If you need to create a mother account, which will be another account with the father. So each student will have two parent accounts, not only one. It's optional. It's up to you. And the rest of the data, it's also up to you. It's completely up to you. Okay? Academic number, and all the other things are optional. So I will save this. I will save this. Okay? And I will go and start to import this now. I will go back to my users, students, and if I'm sure that I filled the data correctly, the level names are right, the level names completely match the level names on as I had created from the levels on Classera. Now I will go to Excel import page, and I will choose the file that I had just saved. Here we are, import student, open. I will submit. Can you see this? This student had not been created. This is the only student. Why? Because the level not found. This student, if I searched him for in my Excel file, I will find that this student is the one that I had named his level grade 2 without a space. That's how it's very sensitive, and you have to be careful on how you are naming the levels on your Excel sheet. There's one guardian that's not created, okay, because failed creating user guardian account, for somehow there's something wrong with maybe the fake ID is repeated or something like that. Anyway, but let's check the student list right now. I will check my student list. I will find that Ahmad, Kabir, Sarah had been already created. Two accounts had been created. Ahmed in grade 1, Sarah had been added to grade 2 in class A. Can you see that? The classes and sections had been created automatically, and the students had already been assigned to the classes. Because there is another way to add this manually, to assign the students in their classes and to create the section one by one, but actually the import sheet facilitate this process by creating sections and add all the classes to the sections without having to, to make this manually one by one. But all that depends if you have filled up the Excel sheet correctly. Of course, it's obvious that you need to make sure that you are importing your students on the right school. Some schools go here, they're standing on elementary school. They are standing on the elementary, but they are uploading intermediate. Or by mistake, they are standing on the supervision school, which is the management and supervision level, and they inserted the students by mistake under the supervision, not under the right stage. So again, I'm returning back to the importance of checking before doing anything. Make sure that you are on the right level and right stage here, and you have the right names and right information in the Excel form. That will save a lot of time later in setting up this course. Okay, so I have the two correct students added here. if any students in the Excel sheet are without sections, you will find those students added here. So if you added any students with no section, you will find those students appear under students without section. But we don't have any here added without sections. Do we have guardians? Let me check. We have actually Mr. Kabir and another account just named like a mother of Ahmad had been created for student Ahmad Kabir. So actually, as because I filled up the parent data correctly for Ahmad Kabir, here if I return to the Excel sheet, I will find that, yeah, can you see that the only parent he succeeded to add was Kabir? Why? Because he is the only parent that I added an ID for him. I didn't add any ID for Hassan or Ahmed. That's why he couldn't be able to create those two parents. He only created for Kabir. Okay, returning back here. So now, what did the import sheet done? I had created accounts for students. I had created accounts for parents. Parents will be linked with their students automatically. Students will be assigned to the sections will be created, and the students will be assigned to the sections. All of that will be done once you import the Excel sheet in the right way. What if you need to know what are the accounts? So I need to know what is the username and password for the parent or the students. Of course, here, if you need to check the accounts, because the system will auto create the username and password for everyone. So here you will go actually to, if you need to check that about accounts, you will go to reports. You can find here something called export user accounts. This is the one, export user accounts. Here, if you need to check the student account or the parents, students with guardians or teachers, we now have only students and guardians. So I will search here for students. You will find that, okay, this is Ahmad, this is his password, and this is his username. So every student have a username now and have a password. Of course, you have different ways to inform the students and parents about their accounts. You can inform them by sending an SMS if the school have an SMS, or you can just take this information. Some schools have in the package of the contract, you can have an SMS and can create a template for the school account, and you can send those login information via SMS from inside the system. Or you can by a way or another. So you can find here export user cards. The user cards, you can find that every parent and every student have a card. You can just print those cards in separate papers. You can go to print, and you can as when with every parent come to the school to have the box or to pay the installment, you can just give him a paper having their username and password. So every parent and every student already have an account here. So you have different ways to deliver the username and password for your students and parents. Let's check how you can send them via SMS. If you need to send them via SMS, but again, not all schools have an SMS charge. It's an extra paid service that some contracts have it, some contracts do not. So of course, today I'm not sure for you guys if you already have this service or not. It depends. So, but if you have it, so for example, this demo school have balance 0. If you have an SMS, you will find a balance here. You will find, for example, that you have 1,000 message balance, 2,000, 10,000. It depends on the school and the contract. So if you have an SMS balance, so it will be much more easier to share the username passwords via SMS. How can that? You can generate a template, create a new template. Here you will, for example, this will be a template for login credential. And here I will write, for example, dear student. Of course, one more note here. You will not be able to send SMS if the Excel sheet that you had imported already here. You should insert here mobile numbers. for parents or students, or I recommend that, of course, students may not have mobile number, but you can still copy the father mobile number and paste it here. This is important if you need to send the student account and parent account to the parents. So add the same mobile number from the father mobile, add it here at the student mobile as well, to be able to send the credentials to both parents and students via SMS if you have it. If you don't have mobile numbers on the Classera, of course, this is useless. You will not be able to send SMS. Let's complete this. Dear student or parent, to log in to Classera, for example, here you will add the domain, go to me.classera.com or classlight.classera.com. It depends on the school, of course. me.classera.com. Your username is, and here, how will the system know or deliver the username, read the username and password for each student individually and send it? Here you will use the placeholders. Placeholders will be having the username. Here I use the placeholder username. Username, that means the system will auto read or retrieve the username for each user and send it. And here your password is, and here I will use a placeholder for password. And that's it. Thanks. Then I will define if other users can use this template or not in my school. As an admin, I will add this. I will add this template. Now I have created a template for sending the SMS with username and password for all the schools. For all students or parents. So now what I need to do, I will go back to SMS. Here I will choose this template. I have on my demo school, I have many templates, but here, this is your first template, I will use this login credential one. So this message will be ready there. Here, you will find the text of the message ready. I will mention that I need to send this on my demo school to guardians or students. And that's why I mentioned that if you copy the parent's number in the student field number, that will allow you to send you student login credentials and parents login credentials. So now I need to send the student one, okay? If you need to add a copy for guardians or not. And I will find, of course, I cannot find anyone here in this list. Why? Why I cannot see anyone here? Because no students have mobile numbers yet. Here in this list, you will see only the parents and only the students that already have a mobile number. Once you find them here, you will select, you can select them all by clicking this. Select all of them, send. That's it. The system will send the credentials or the login credentials for parents and students. Hopefully that's clear. So that's one of the easiest way to send the credentials for students and parents. If the school, if you as a school admin, you didn't find any balance here, please return back to Classera, your own Classera supervisor. Each school have one member of Classera team as a supervisor, direct supervisor to you. Ask them if the contract include already a balance, so ask them to immediately add this balance to your school. If the contract do not have, but you need to charge this as like for one-time charge just to facilitate the sharing of the credentials for parents and students, you still can ask for that. So you can agree with your school's administrative staff that you need to buy like 1,000 message or 2,000 message just for this stage to use it in sending your SMSs. And then later, you can just communicate with the parents with email or other tools other than SMS. So I need to clarify that even if you do not have SMS balance, make sure if the contract included or not. If not, you still can buy. You have to contact your school admin, ask them as your school Classera supervisor, ask them that you need to charge your SMS balance, because this is one of the easiest way to let everyone at home know what is the username and password. Okay, I think it's okay. So where we stand, where we stand right now. Right now, we had explored your dashboard. We had explored the system, how to create stages, years, years. We already mentioned that it's exist. We have created stages, levels, and then we jump to courses, and we clarify that you can add courses manually, or you can import the courses from the levels, from the stages levels page. You can import the courses from Excel sheet. And then we mentioned that we have to create users. So right now we have completed added students, parents accounts from Excel sheet, and you now know how you can find the username and password by going to reports, export user accounts to find all the username and password there. And after that, we also went to SMS to explore what one of the easiest way to create an SMS template and to share accounts with parents and students, or to send them via SMS. Those are the topics that we had covered so far. What's next? Let's go to teachers now. We have to add some teachers. So your teacher list, also you can add teachers one by one, or you can still go to teacher import. Teacher import, of course you can import from Noor if your school is inside Saudi Arabia, so you can go and import the teacher list from Noor. But we always recommend to use Classera Excel format instead of Noor format. But it's for teacher it works. For student, Excel format is very bad from Noor. Anyway, here you have the teacher. The teacher, the only mandatory fields for teacher here are ID, English name, and that's it. Arabic if needed. So the mandatory ones are national ID. Let me add some. Um, okay. So I'm here adding some teachers. Okay, and I will save this and I will import them as my teacher list. So here I will choose file and I will add those 3 teachers. Here, this is my file. Submit. Okay. Let me check here again. Okay, sorry. So another mandatory field, sorry for this mistake. Another mandatory field here is the Arabic name. Just if you don't have an Arabic, just copy their English names and add it as well. So let me save this and import it again. Actually, it was optional before. Anyway, I will return back to teacher import and I will re-import it. Import teacher. Let's import them now. There's something wrong. Let me check this again. We need at least 2 names. So let's say Amira Nasif. Let us add it like that. Here I will copy this and I will paste it here. Sorry. Let's paste this here. Okay, so at least first name and last name should exist. Let's start again. Now it works. Okay, so we have imported. So teachers' names, yeah, I just added one name. However, at least two names should be exist. So here we had imported three teachers. Okay, Sarah, Amira, and Dima. Those three teachers now, as you had imported your teachers, now the next step will be going to courses, lectures, and start to link the teachers with the courses. Linking the teachers with their courses, here you need to add this one by one. So here you will choose like grade 1, Miss Amira. She is teaching, we can find here the three subjects that we have already created. She's teaching mathematics for class A. Of course, you will find all the sections that you had added to this school. Submit. So now I had linked Miss Amira with mathematics. Now I will mention that Miss Amira also, she's teaching English to class A. So I need to link Miss Amira with two subjects for class A, no worries. And then let me link and so on. So you need to do that for each teacher, each grade and course. So here, let's say that Dima, she is teaching science to class A. So Dima is the science teacher and Amira is the English and math teacher. So you can find the lectures here. Of course, you will find the students already there because already students have been assigned to sections. So if you want to check the students here, you will find already the students of class A exist. You don't have to assign students to courses now. So here you will find Ahmad already exists in class A, for example. So now, once you linked with teachers, let's go to the teacher account and check how Amira teachers looks like. Now we will go to another level of managing users. Each user, student or teacher or management or supervisors, we'll go to the rest. Any teachers, you will find, any user, you will find that each user, you have many actions for that, for him or her. You can view this account, it will give you the main information, but here as you can see, you can find login as this user, log in as this user. So as a system admin, you can log in and see the view or see it completely as if you are logged as this teacher or using her account. So now I will go as Amira or Sarah. Oh, why we went as Sarah? Sorry, Sarah have no courses yet. Let's go as Amira. So I will go back to as an admin, users, teachers. Let's go using Amira here. I will view for Amira and I will log in as Amira. Now Amira, because we linked Amira with mathematics and English for grade 1, when Amira will go to her account, she will find math and English and she will be able to manage her content, grade management, and she will start to deal with the system as a teacher. So in order to make the teacher's account ready, you have to link all teachers with their courses in that way, okay? So I will go back. You can click always back to admin to go back to your admin account like that. Okay, let's go again to check what else you can have as options or actions on any account. So I will click view again. For Amira, as I mentioned, you can log in as Amira or any teacher or any student. So if you received an issue from one of the students or parents that my kid, when he log into his account, he cannot find any content, you can go to this contact or this account, log in as, make sure that really this student do not find or have any account, and then check if he is signed to the correct class, to the correct teacher, and so on. So you can log in as any account. Activity log. The activity log will let you see all the activity of Miss Amira here. Here you will find every single click done by Amira will be saved in her activity log. Activity log is saving each user actions with the IP address. So you can, even if some, violations happened, if some students had used account of other students, if something serious happened, you can still track it through searching the activity log of each user. Manage privileges and permissions. This may allow you to manage the permissions of Amira. So sometimes, for example, Amira maybe is more than teacher. Now she is only teacher, so you can manage her privileges as teachers. But what if Amira, you need to provide her with more privileges? So I will return back again to users, teachers, and you can manage, for example, here, Amira, I will go to her permissions here, and I will define Amira as supervisor as well. Amira is a teacher, but I will add her as a teacher supervisor. So Amira will be a teacher supervisor over my demo. Sorry, demo admin. Our school here is demo. Yeah, I will add here as a supervisor over our school, our test school here. So you will define that, okay, Amira have two rules now, but you don't have to send to Amira two different accounts, one as a supervisor or teacher coordinator and one as a teacher. No, you can add more rules to one account if exists. So the user or Amira now will be allowed to use her own account, one username and password, and from the same account she can work as a teacher and she can work as a supervisor. So now I will define Amira as a supervisor. I will save. I defined her as a supervisor here and I will save that. Yes, I confirm. Okay, done. So now Amira had been defined as a supervisor. I will go to the supervisor list. I will find here Amira had been added as a supervisor, but the main rule is teacher. For any supervisor or teacher, and this is important, you have to manage their accounts. Of course, if you have other supervisors that are not teachers, you will simply go here and add new supervisor account. So for those who are only supervisors mean, head of departments, academic supervisors. That's what supervisor mean here. So the role of supervisor, I can add another supervisor here. Let's say first name, Rada. And here I will add Rada as a supervisor. This is the only important information here. So when I return back, you will find Amira. Amira main role is teacher, but I had added another role for Amira as a supervisor. Rada, she is only a supervisor, so she don't have a teacher role. So I directly added her as a supervisor. Anyway, either she was a teacher or she is only supervisor, you still have to manage her supervisor. So you have to go as an admin and you need to manage her account. What means to manage? Each supervisor have a certain number of teachers under her supervision. Each the head of department have a set of teachers that they are responsible for. So if I went to Amira here, I will want to manage, I will find no teachers. I still have to add teachers to her. So here I will add my school demo admin. So this is the school. I just need to make sure that yeah. So those are the teachers on my school. Who are the teachers that under the supervision of Amira? For example, Dima. And Amira is a supervisor for herself. So I can add Amira because Amira is a teacher and supervisor. So sometimes that happens, supervising yourself. So here I am adding Amira and I'm adding Dima. Of course, you will not see all the teachers. You will only see the teachers that are already linked with lectures. So we have another teacher, the third teacher. We can't see him or her because we didn't link this third teacher with lectures yet. So I added those teachers and I will scroll here and submit. Now I added teachers to Amira. Okay, now Amira, if I went back, let us see how Amira accounts looks like right now. I will log in as Amira again. I will view Amira and I will log in as Amira. Here, Amira, a new rule had been added here. Amira first was only teacher. Now she is a teacher and teacher supervisor. And that means she can easily, the main rule is teacher. So once she log in, she will find herself as a teacher. But if she need to go as a supervisor, she will go here as a teacher supervisor. Going to as a teacher supervisor, Amira will find here the list of teachers that you had added. Many supervisors get confused when they go to their account and they find nothing here. No teachers exist. They have no access to the teachers. So they feel like their accounts is useless. Actually, the only skipped step is that you as a school admin, you have to manage the supervisor account and add the list of teachers that they have to have under their accounts. Then supervisors will be able to attend the online classes with the teachers. They can browse the courses and the course content of the teachers. They can do many things here. Okay, so returning back to our account, main account as an admin. So returning back to our users, now we can know that any user, we can manage their accounts, we can edit. So here, even if I am as a student, you can view, you can log in as, you can find the activity log, you can edit the account and, add any more information if you need later. You can delete the account and add it from scratch again. You can find here as a student, you can find who are the guardians linked, what are the lectures that it's added to the students, and all of that. Of course, only the students, you cannot add other permissions for students, of course. So of course, students could not have more than one rule other than a student, but teachers, management staff, yes, you can always assign many permissions and other rules to them. Okay, so now we have finished, almost finished from the users part, the main, of course, points. You may have some more actions from users, but those are the most important. One of the very important things is how to search your user. When you have hundreds of users here, how can you search? Of course, you can search with ID number of any user. So here, if you need to find the ID number or find a certain user with an ID number, just I imagine that here this is the number. So if I search with the ID number, I will find the user. You can search with name. You have advanced search. The advanced search is that you can search with grade. So here I need all the students of grade 1 and class section A. So here I will see all the students in class 1 section A. Very important thing here is that what is the status of the users. Sorry, here, active. Users, students could be active. Some of the students, you may deleted them. What means if you deleted a student? So if I went here and I deleted Ahmed, I will delete him. Okay. Ahmed not exist. That don't mean that you cannot reach Ahmed. You still have Ahmed here. If you went to active and you search for deleted student, you still can find Ahmed and you can still go to Ahmed, edit, and I will return Ahmed back as an active. So here you will find where is the status deleted. The status is deleted. I will make him active again. Of course, students could be not just deleted. You can suspend them for fees option or something like that. You can transfer, just click transfer. They had just transferred from the school, graduated, rejected, whatever. So many stages here. So I will make him active again. Once you make him active, you will return see him as an active student. You can find here when you edit that you can restrict the login. Restrict the login if you need to prevent certain account to login. Temporary, you can return back and open the restriction. Or you can keep the students available to log in, but you only need to block the report cards. So students can go and attend the classes and get the content, but only the report cards will not be published for that student. So some more options exist while you are editing the student's account here. Now I just need to return him back as an active student. So now back again, I can see Ahmed here under the active. You can still search for the transfer, the suspended students. Um, you can search among your school, the school that you are standing on, or the stage, or you may need to search on the whole group. If you need to search in a group of schools, click here to search using the ID. Sometimes students being added wrongly in other levels or other schools, something like that. So you can still search. So it's important to explore this advanced search because many options exist here, or many fields of search and advanced search exist at this place. Okay, so let's recap very fast right now. I know that this session it's only for the basics, but it's rich, still rich and full of information. So now about managing users, as I mentioned, let's recap the main steps. First of all, you need to go to settings. You need to manage the stages, levels. From levels, you can add courses using Excel sheet, or later you can add them manually using courses here, and then going to lectures. Before going to lectures, you need to add teachers, because without having teachers, you will not be able to link teachers with courses, of course. So before that, we had seen how to import students, parents, and teachers, and then how to link them using lectures. One last thing, one important last thing is the time slots. It's from lectures, from here. When you go to course management, lectures, you have to define manage time slots. This is important. This is one of the very basic things that you have to do. That's how teachers will be able to create any timetable or to define the timetable for their students. Without having time slots, you will not be able to do that. What are time slots? It is the very general time slot for your periods. So for example, period 1, order 1, it starts at, let's say, 8 a.m. and it ends at 8:30, for example, or 45. Okay, submit. So this is the time slot for the first class or first period, and then at the second, and so on. The second, or period 2, order in the table is 2. Here it starts at 8:30 and it ends at 9, for example, and so on, a.m. Make sure that even if there's breaks, you can add break. So here, if I would imagine that here we have a break after the first and second session, this order is 3. Here, it's the break is start, and so on. I think that's clear. So time slots, or adding the time slots, is important. Without defining the main time frame of the periods during the day, teachers will not be able to add timetables. So this is one of the very, very important and basic steps to set up the school timetable. I'm done for today. I hope that this session was helpful and clear. And again, this session is recorded and I will share, I believe I did. I believe I already had shared. Yes, this is the YouTube channel that you can find this session recorded and available for you on YouTube. So here I had copied the YouTube channel again, because I completely understand that this session is long, huge, full of information, and you may need to return back to some of it later. Another important thing is to evaluate this session. But actually, before giving you the form for evaluation, I would like to ask you, was that clear for you guys? If that was good, clear enough, just type 1 or give me any feedback on the chat. Thank you. I recognize that I'm sharing the YouTube only for panelists. I'm sorry. I will copy the YouTube again. Control C. Here, this is a YouTube. By tomorrow, not today, by tomorrow you will find the recorded, this session recorded will be available on YouTube. So now I had shared the YouTube link here. Please click on this YouTube, subscribe or save this link at any place so you can find it later and you can return back to it at any time. And I will share with you as well the survey that I will be very thankful if you filled up this form as an evaluation for this session. Your feedback and evaluation is very, very important for us. So, and my name is Menna Ramadan. Again, my name. This is my name that you can see in this slide. Because you were required to insert my name in your evaluation, Menna Ramadan. Here, this is my name. Oh, sorry. Uh-oh. This is my name, Menna Ramadan. Here. So, thank you all for your concentration, for your attending. We hope for you a successful online weeks. We hope that could be, but as how far the setting up and as how far you as a system administrator in the school, you have created everything correctly, that will be the basic for a successful year for all the school users, all the stakeholders. So your role is mandatory, your role is huge, it's not easy. So we completely rely on you guys. And we are sure that you will make this as much successful as you can. Thank you all again and have a nice night. See you and waiting for your feedback on the form that I had shared with you. Thank you.